So we are going to continue where we left off in that first video on number 15. So what we were saying is that this is a trinomial. So we have an A, a B, and a C. These are not perfect squares. 18 is not a perfect square. So I can't just use a shortcut to go straight into parentheses. I also cannot take my answer choices and double distribute to check if it works because I don't have a second term in these here. So in this one here, what is one factor of this? We have no choice but to actually factor it. So some of you already started. So in this one here, A times C. So A is 1, C is 18. 1 times 18 is the number 18. B stands for bottom. We put the B, the bottom, 11 on the bottom. What multiplies to make that top number go in order? 1 times 18. 2 times 9, 3 times 6. Which of these factors would add to make this 11 on the bottom? A 2 and a 9. So those are my factors. So I start by writing the first term. You could put x squared or 1x squared. It's the same thing. Then you write the two things off of your x puzzle, which was a 2x and a 9x. That replaced the middle term. And the back number is an 18. So now that we have 4 pieces, we can draw a line down the middle and take out their greatest common factor. What can I remove from a 1 and a 2? I can divide them both by 1, and they both have an x in them. When I take that 1x out, 1 divided by 1 is 1 with an x. 2 divided by 1 is 2. These will always cancel. Same thing, last terms. These can divide by 9. That's the biggest number I can divide. What's left over? 9 divided by 9 is 1 with an x. 18 divided by 9 is 2. Okay, our numbers inside matched. 1x plus 2 and 1x plus 2. So those can come out. The numbers in the front get to go together. Remember, 1x is the same as just saying x. Which answer choice has one of these factors in it? Correct answer is that C has one of these factors. It says which one is one factor? Which one of these is one factor? C. We factored it, and we got that C has the factor. Try the same thing with 16. Again, there's no shortcut here, so we have to do A, B, C. Draw your X, A times C on the top, B on the bottom, factor by grouping. We have no choice in number 16 but to factor by grouping. When you're ready, let's take a look at the next set. Okay, so next set is number 17. So again, on number 17, to get a factor that's just an A, a B, and a C, there is no shortcut. We have to factor by grouping. So we draw an X for the X method. A times C is the number 4, because 2 times 2 is 4. B goes on the bottom. Your factors of 4 are 1 times 4 and 2 times 2. The ones that would add to make the bottom are the factors 1 and 4. Okay, so I'm going to write my first term first, 2x squared. I'm going to replace this middle term with my 2 factors. The number in the back gets to hang out in the back. Draw a line, factor by grouping. I can take out what number from these 2 terms? I can take out a 1. And they both have an x in them. I can divide them both by 1. 2 divided by 1, there's 2 left over. If I have 2 x's, I take 1 x away. That's just an x. 1 divided by 1 is 1. X's will cancel. What can I take out of these 2 factors? I can divide them both by 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2 with an x. 2 divided by 2 is positive 1. My terms matched. Those get to come out, 2x plus 1. My leftovers are 1x, which is the same as x, and a 2. Which answer choice has one of those factors? Correct answer is B. You have to factor it for real for these. Go ahead, try number 18. Okay, last but not least, last page, 2 questions. This is what we did last class. It's not that hard. It's the same thing that we've done literally 1,000 times in the last week and a half. So what we have here is that this top is a trinomial. Anytime we have a trinomial, we are going to factor it into its 2 pieces. So I'm going to do it up here so we have some room. So I'm going to start by factoring that trinomial. A times C is the number 10. B is an 11. I think we did this one already, but that's okay. So what multiplies to make 10? 1 times 10. 2 times 5. Which factors will make 11? The 1 and the 10. So I'm going to write down 2x squared, because that's what came first, plus 1x plus 10x. The back number is plus 5. So I just took the front number and the back number, brought them down. I replaced the middle term with the numbers for my X puzzle. That allows for me to factor by grouping. I can take a 1x out of each of these terms. 2 divided by 1 is 2. x2 over x2 leaves me an x to the 1 plus 1. I can divide these both by 5. 10 divided by 5 is 2 with an x plus 1. 2x plus 1 was in both, so I can take those out. 1x plus 5 is left over. So I factored, and I got that there. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take the top, and I'm going to rewrite it as its factored form. It's a 2x plus 1 and a 1x plus 5. So now, in this original question, it had that trinomial, which I factored it, over the bottom, which is x plus 5. So what happens in division is that if something's on the top, that's the same as something that's on the bottom, they just get to cancel. So if we took that thing and we are removing the x plus 5, we're removing it because one's on the top, can cancel with the one on the bottom. The only thing left over is 2x plus 1. So the correct answer is C. So try the same thing with number 20. You're going to factor the top, just go off to the side so you have some room. You're going to factor the top. You're going to figure out what that can be rewritten as. So use factoring to figure out what that is. Okay? And then be able to cancel out the bottom, and that's going to leave you with either A, B, or C. So what you learned in this test review is that on your test on Friday, it's 2 things. You're going to either factor using the X method and then factor by grouping. So every time you have 3 pieces, you're going to use the X method and then factor by grouping. Or you can eliminate your answer choices by checking the front. You can eliminate those answer choices by checking the front by multiplying the fronts, check the back number by multiplying the backs, and then double distribute for anything that would work. Okay? So on your test on Friday, you have 2 options. You can factor like these, or you can eliminate your answer choices. There's only a handful where you can't eliminate your answer choices because you only have 1 binomial. So there's only a handful where you actually have to factor, but you guys are really good at factoring. So factoring should be pretty easy for you at this point. If you have any questions, put them in the comments and we'll make sure that you get everything cleared up. Good luck on your test on Friday.